People often say, why do you continue to sort of drag yourself out of bed in the mornings and get down the estuary? Well, it's hard to explain, but it's in my blood. You're drawn to the estuary. Perhaps I will be the last person to be doing this out there because people are becoming disconnected from the environment. At the moment, I'm trying to make the best of things and hanging on by our fingertips at the moment. So there you are. My name's Martin Morgan and I'm the Secretary of the Blackrock Lave Net Fishermen's Association, a traditional salmon fishery, along with compass nets, Seine Netters and Coracles of West Wales. You could say the indigenous fishermen, traditional fishermen of Wales. Our fishery was founded by my great-grandfather, William Corbin, when he returned from the First World War, and that tradition has been passed down over the generations to me. In my day, it was never a commercial fishery. All we took was 2, 3, 4, 5 salmon a season between us to keep the fishing alive, building it at the same time into a tourism heritage site for what we were very proud of. When I started lave net fishing, there were several different methods for fishing for salmon on the Severn estuary, and it's my personal view that the Environment Agency, then Natural Resources Wales, set out to clear all the traditional salmon fishing from the estuary. I was shown how to make a lave net by my grandfather, and he taught me how to make a lave net when I was around about 12 years of age. It's made from what grows around the estuary. For the arms of the net, which we call reams, we use willow. For the handle of the net, which we call the rock staff, we use ash. And there's a distinctive kick in the handle. The yoke or the headboard is made from pine, so it's all very traditional. The mesh within the frame, we hand knit that, and every Blackrock lave net starts off with 56 loops. And we thread that onto a bar, and we knit off that with what we call a wand and a net needle. Lave nets recorded on the Severn estuary in the 1600s, so it's an ancient method of fishing for salmon and whitefish. The Severn estuary has got the second greatest tidal range in the world, and the window in which to fish is very small, 1 hour. That's all you get, 1 hour, and you fish on the last hour of the ebbing tide as the estuary is emptying. We're trying to maintain our traditions and heritage, but we're fighting a losing battle, it seems to us. We need support. We need support from the Welsh Assembly to maintain a presence, to maintain our future, I think. And I think we've been set adrift. You live for certain experiences, that beautiful sunrise, you know, the perfect tide, the chance of catching a salmon with a lave net, walking in the footsteps of your forefathers, and it's a beautiful thing.
Used to come out here 14, 15, would you believe it, late at night, through the night. Used to go to school. People used to wonder why you were tired. Because you'd be out here for 4 hours in the middle of the night. But used to be good fishing. And as you can see with the scenery, now it's just pleasure now. It's not for fishing as such. Family tradition. All old boys in the village used to do it. Pocket money when you're 10, 11 years old.
We're out in the Towie seine netting. I've been doing it since I was 8 or 9 years old. Out with man to Walter at first. I think this was the first bank I ever fished. We used to pull the line back on the boat and fetch the boat up after the haul and then... And the fishermen would give us fat fish and mullet and we'd go around the village and selling them. And that would be our pocket money, yeah?
Yes, sewing, which is the sea trout. Welsh delicacy, really. Sought after fish in Wales. We were allowed to catch salmon, but that's been stopped. In fact, the river's dead, really, to say the truth. It's a surprise if we catch one now instead of expecting to catch one. Okay, just gonna find a couple of razor shells. And this is how we traditionally mark tide. So know where the tide is coming in. So put one on there, where you see the little waves, and we put one just above it then. And then, as the tide's receding, you'll watch me moving the shells down then until we get tide.
There are no fish. The river's dead between predation, agricultural pollution, sewage and industrial pollution. And there's just nothing here anymore. Things are so different now. No fisherman used to be an important person in the village, you know. But what can we fish for now? You know, we used to fish for all fish. Now it's just sewage. And there are no sewage. The river is dead. There's nothing here.
So I've got to come down now, see? I'm controlling the net now. Yeah? But if I do walk down now, the net will pull in. Yeah, it looks an easy skill, but you've got to know how the river feels, how the river behaves, and you've got to work in unison with the other part of the net. So we close it nicely, quietly, and hopefully trap some fish. And then once his pole comes on the shore, we then slowly pull the net in together.
It's not really seine netting, it's insane. I mean, I'm a bloody fisherman, I can't fish, can I? I'm not allowed to catch fish. Oh, it's absolute rubbish, it is, it's beyond, I mean, not being able to take a fish home, but, you know, it's ridiculous. No, times have changed, and not for the better, unfortunately.
I'm Andrew Davis. I'm chairman of Carmarthen Coracles here in Carmarthen fishing the River Towie.
I'm Derek Thomas. I fish with Andrew for the past sort of 5 years.
Coracle fishing on the Towie is a traditional method of fishing. It's been going since Roman times. I think it's important to keep the traditions going in Wales. These traditions, sort of heritage fisheries, are unique to Wales. The fish aren't in the rivers like they used to be. When I first started, the rivers were black with fish. There was fish everywhere. There's a lot of pollution about, and I don't think the fish stocks are sort of capable of surviving it, to be honest with you. And it seems to be getting worse and worse every year. NRW, in their sort of wisdom, have cut the season by 2 months. We've got to return all salmon. So it's not viable anymore, really. Not commercial or whatever. It's just not being viable. There was coracles on the river, but in Roman times. If it wasn't sustainable, there wouldn't be any fish left. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
So my experience with coracling started when I was about 5 years old as a little boy, down in Carmarthen, which is on the River Teifi. And instead of having a bike, when you were a little kid there, you had a coracle. And, you know, the excitement of it was, you know, pretty amazing, really. We're now fishing on a heritage licence, which is, years ago, I suppose, the old coracle fishermen used to make a living out of fishing on the rivers. You're out with nature when there's a full moon, you know, you see all the wildlife, you're gently going down the river. It's a bit of a privilege, really, to be involved with the coracles. I've got a son, a young boy, and every father would like to see his son follow in a bit of a tradition, you know, but like I say, it's not profit making, it's the excitement of it. When it brings back memories of when I was fishing, when I learned first, you know, when you're a kid. It never sort of leaves you. The excitement of when you're going down gently and all of a sudden you feel that little pull on the line.
Well, as I say, I've been fishing 35 years. I enjoy it. Yeah, there's no better feeling. Putting licence fees up, you know, they're not helping matters. And I think that all sort of traditional nets, I don't think you should have to pay a licence fee. Because, as I say, it's an important part of Welsh history and heritage.
The worrying thing, really, is the decline in the fish in the river. Myself personally, this is my personal view, it's getting overfished with big trawlers out at sea. This is happening all over the country, all over Wales. We're having pollution coming into the rivers. All of this wildlife relies on the fish. Will there be anything left in the rivers? You know, it's not looking promising unless we're able to sort something out.
As I say, nothing seems to be done. Too many people sitting behind desks.
My name's Len Walters. I'm a commercial fisherman. Been fishing most of my working life. We're down here on the River Teifi, 12 months of the year, and the coracles are still part of my living. We're under a lot of pressure with the coracles. It used to be very much a part of my living for those 5 months, but we've been shortened really now down to 3 months. And with them taking the salmon off us as well, it is, you know, it's quite a job really to keep it going. A lot has changed. It's quite frightening really, in a very short, you know, just in my time, the differences we've seen, you know. I mean, the river's a mess. I mean, this algae, as you can see by here now, we never saw that. It was beautiful, clean gravel. It's just a shambles, it was never like that. And of course then the other thing is your fish numbers, isn't it? That's vastly different, vastly different. You know, when I was small, I remember the Seine Netters down there, you know. I remember them getting shot to 100 or so in one go. So in a short period of time, there's been a dramatic change to the river. This is our Teifi net. So we haven't got corks on the top, like the towie boys. We have rings. Then on the other side you have 2 ropes. So you have one for opening and you have one for closing. So if you open the net, you pull the 2 ropes apart like that. Now as you can see, we have 2 meshes. You have a big mesh in the front there, which is that one there. And then you have a smaller mesh in the back, which is either a 4-inch or if you're fishing bigger, it'd be a 5-inch. Now what you feel is you feel the fish bump this first mesh, then you close it. So you grab this like that and you close the net, and then you bag the fish in the bottom like that and lift it into the coracle. I do all methods of fishing. Everything, all methods. You know, we handle live bass, we fish crab, lobster, scallops. So I've done just about every method of commercial fishing there is. But there's something about this. This is really special. I love this. You know, when you're there in the pitch black, because where we fish when we're down, there are no lights. Completely pitch black. Further down there are no houses, nothing. It's like going back in time, and it's all about feel, you know. And it's an art. It's so peaceful. It's like the dawns. When you get a dawn shot, you see skies and colours that most people never see. And like I say, it's the most fantastic method of fishing I've ever done. We've been a target all along, really. Get rid of the netsmen, get rid of the netsmen. In the environment age, they were very clever to put the blame on the commercial netsmen. And the angling fraternity, the wealthy angling fraternity, fell for it. So they've got rid of most of them. You know, the Seine is gone. That was a tradition out the French monks brought over here, you know, hundreds of years ago. That's gone. And they used to keep the whole village going. The real big issue was when they took the salmon off us, because, you know, each salmon was worth quite a lot of money to us. If you had your gas and your electricity at home, and you were paying for both, and then all of a sudden they came along and said, right, we're not giving you electricity anymore, but you've got to still pay for it. It wouldn't happen, would it? But this is what's happened to them, isn't it? We were paying for salmon and suing. They took a salmon off us. They took 2 months of our season, our very short season, off us as well. And we still ended up paying the same licence fee. And then they go running around telling the minister, oh, we haven't increased the licence fees for years. Well, they haven't, eh? All these coracles you see from here all the way down to Kilgarren, they're made to fish. They're not made for decoration, they're made to fish, isn't it? So if you take the fishing away, eventually everybody stops making coracles. And the only place you'll ever see one is in a museum, isn't it? You know, the unfortunate thing for us is there is hardly any of us, you know, there's only 12 licenses left for Tybee. I think there's about 9 actually taken out now. But it's all done in the hours of darkness, so nobody sees it. So like you're invisible, anyway. But that's the way it is, unfortunately. I mean, if people saw more of it, maybe there'd be a greater appreciation of it, maybe. Like I said to you, it's such a lovely method of fishing. You don't want to let it go, you don't want to give it up, you know? Yeah, it is a fantastic method. It's the best method of fishing out of everything I've done.
What do you find? You've got a deep connection to the environment, what is actually happening out there. And people sat in an office do not see the changes that I see. And the changes are many. The filth that is being discharged into the estuary, people in the offices don't see that. The issues lie elsewhere, and those issues are simply not being addressed. And they're widely known, but they're being ignored.
You know, we want to keep these traditions going for, you know, future generations. It's just a shame that, you know, if it does go, it's going to go sort of, well, the next couple of years probably. I've been to public inquiries, I've been to CMPs, I've been to CMSs. Public inquiry, they asked about the state the Towey was in. I told them. All my evidence was struck off. As soon as I mentioned pollution, that was it. Instead of listening to actual people that actually work the river or fish the rivers, well, how can you have somebody in a desk or whatever deciding what our fate's going to be?
Neglect of the river, industry, agriculture, sewerage, predation, and the powers that be say global warmth.
If they could have pulled the rug, they would have already done it, but they're making it They make it so uneconomic, there's no point you doing it. That's the way they do it. It's like a death by 1,000 cuts, isn't it? We've seen it with other fisheries. The way they just keep pumping sewage, it's unbelievable, isn't it? And they've blamed everybody else for the fish numbers dropping. They blamed the fishermen to the point where there's hardly any of us left. So that, you know, what we would make any difference at all anymore. And, you know, for the way they've reduced the nets from the 70s down to what's left, if we were the problem, the river would be full of fish. But it's still declining, isn't it? There's hardly any of us left. There's only a handful of us left. Isn't it? We're losing so much heritage in this country. And to lose these, you know, once upon a time, everybody along the river had them in their back garden. Everybody was fishing. There was, you know, but to lose it, I think, is criminal, really.